All right, gentlemen, everybody. This is Terry with NSPS TV, Paranormal Podcast, Raw and Uncut. How you guys doing this Saturday evening? Now, tonight we got three special guests. I'm going to introduce you guys one by one. This is Mr. Dan to the left. Wave, Dan, say hello.
Hey, Daniel.
And this is Mrs. Debbie Schreiner. Did I get that name right?
Schreiner.
Shiner, like Shiner, Texas.
Schreiner, like the Shrine Circus, you know.
Okay.
But
All right.
you know?
Shrine. And we have Mrs. Wendy. I'm going to put Mrs. on there. I'm sorry. Okay, Miss Wendy Lepore.
Lepore.
Okay, let's start with you. Where are you from?
I'm from Rhode Island, New England.
With that accent, I swear you were from. I swear you were from Louisiana somewhere. I swear you were from Louisiana from somewhere. That accent, I swear. Okay. You're from Rhode Island. Dan, where are you from, brother? Talk to me.
I'm from Rhode Island also.
Oh man, how's the weather up there?
It's cool, right? It's been warm, cool, snowing, warm, sunny, rainy. We got all kinds of weather.
Hey, well, is it time for you guys to move to Texas or what?
Yeah, leave the winter for sure.
Well, I wouldn't say that because we get it down here. It just,
I know. Debbie's told us.
we get it. So I hope you got full insurance on your car because people around here cannot drive and none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're better off staying at home if you're gonna get involved in all this sleet and snow. All right, Miss Debbie.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
You doing great? All right, man. You know, me and Miss Debbie talk. Oh man, we talk off and on for the last week and so. Very interesting young lady, might say. Where are you from, Miss Debbie? Talk to me.
Burleson, Texas.
Wait. I think I've been through that little town.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's not little no more. It's between oh goodness, Fort Worth and Joshua. I'm in between Fort Worth and Joshua.
Fort Worth and Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never even heard of Joshua. I've heard of Fort Worth, but I never heard of Joshua.
Okay.
All right. Hey guys, please check it out. We are finna have a great discussion about the paranormal. Okay. I got three interesting young people here. I want to know everything about you guys from the beginning of your journey. Hopefully not the end of it, but from the beginning of it. Okay. Starting with you, Dan. Tell me a little bit about yourself, bro.
All right, I will say, I really started this after my father had passed away.
Okay.
I mean, I was never involved in the paranormal at all. Had like a few experiences when I was younger that I never really looked at as paranormal, but now as an older person and being involved in it, I think I've had experiences.
Okay.
But I dabbled in like wanting to know how I could connect with him after he passed, and got involved with a group on Facebook. And then one thing led to another. I ended up being taught how to use a pendulum to like ask questions and use it to like try to connect with spirits. And then I utilized that in the group too. We did like a Q&A for people. And then from there, I got involved with doing past life readings for people. So that just sectioned off into a whole nother avenue. But along with that, we did, we've done paranormal things from, utilizing, once you connect with the spirit world, it just becomes like normal, it becomes normal and it's just like, not a big deal to do it, you just get involved with it and you do it. But like I've worked along with Debbie and Wendy, actually. Wendy personally, we've worked together here. With some things that she was involved with. And then Debbie, I, and Wendy did some remote things at people's homes where Debbie visited. So we were on the phone with her,
Okay.
and we tried to, you know, like pick up things while we were like remotely here in Rhode Island,
All right.
you know. So that's pretty much like everything that I've been involved with.
Okay.
The past life reading still goes on. I still do those.
And how
And
successful? Go ahead.
huh?
Go ahead. No, go finish.
Well, over the years, just from being involved in, like, you know, utilizing that, you pick up spirits that are around you, you know, even if they're like people you don't know, like they just come in, you know, like a magnet after a while.
Wow.
I've had experience where I found a person's grave locally that was connected to me. Some lady that was buried alive
Wow.
way back when they didn't know that the person wasn't completely dead. They just buried her. She was
Wow.
buried alive. And just like a lot of crazy experiences, like people coming in. But I also noticed that after loved ones passed, they came to me shortly after. I was able to connect with them, which I found pretty interesting.
Yeah, it seems like you got a lot going on, brother. You got a lot going on. All right, Miss Debbie, tell me a little something. Tell me about yourself.
I've pretty much had a gift since I was probably about 3 years old. You know, I saw things, heard things, felt things, and then, you know, back in that, you know, when I was small like that, I really didn't think about it too much, you know, until I started getting older, and then started, you know, seeing more spirits, hearing them or feeling them, and, you know, trying to communicate with me. And so I kind of backed off, you know, for a while. And over the years, you know, my kids were doing the same thing. You know, they knew when something was around or whatever. And so I just kind of, you know, I can communicate with them, and they give me information. And, you know, sometimes I see them when they want me to. And other times, you know, it's just like, you know, they give me information. And after my son passed in 2008, I really started getting into the spirit world, because it was like he's there, he's here with me. You know, he looks out after me. And I've just been really interested in, you know, helping people in their homes and helping the spirits, and, you know, try to help cross them over also. And me and Daniel and Wendy, we pretty much, you know, do that with the spirits. We try to cross them over if they want to go. So that's, you know, pretty much what I do. And sometimes I can touch something, you know, and feel something, or I could look at a picture and, you know, see something in the picture and feel it. And I guess I just have all different types, you know, of different, you know, gifts.
Right.
It's, yeah. But, you know, it's pretty cool to have this gift. It really is. I wouldn't trade it, you know.
Interesting. Miss Wendy, tell me a little something.
Yes, Terry.
Tell me a little something about yourself.
Well, for me, similar to Deb, I would say that I always knew I had something, but unfortunately it didn't come out positive. There was a lot of negative connotations to the gift, and even understanding that you have one, because I wasn't quite sure I even had that. I just knew a lot of things were happening as a child that I knew or figured out or sensed. So as I got older and was still present at my family's farm, things kept happening, both positive and negative. So I delved right into it, and that would be learning about EVPs, getting pictures, the whole bit, joining so I understood and can further the gift. I was joining a spiritual group that Daniel, myself, and Deb were in. That's how we originally connected. And from this, it's been doing the house cleanings. I do use tarot cards. I do readings. I don't have to use the cards. I like them as a tool, because when you lay them out, people like to kind of look at them and kind of see the pictures, so we can explain what's in our head, how they're communicating to us. So from there, it's just grown. And between me, Deb, and Daniel, we're always trying to help. We're
Okay.
always there to help people, whether it's a house cleaning, whether it's, the loved ones that need to really pass over,
Right.
go to the other side. We try to help them also. So it's
Yeah.
multifaceted with me, but it started actually where I grew up.
Wow, that sounds really interesting. Okay, guys, I'm gonna ask you guys a bunch of questions.
Mhm.
Hope you guys don't mind.
No, that's
Go
fine.
for it.
Okay, now with you guys, I'm gonna ask the question as a whole. So that means I'm not gonna just, ask question to an individual. I'm gonna ask the question as a whole. Okay, how do you guys feel about paranormal investigators?
Paranormal investigators, it's really cool. I mean, you have some out there that they want to go in and taunt and haunt, the spirits, or try to harm, do something not good to the spirit.
Right.
And I dislike that very much. But as far as them, as long as they're good and they don't do this, I have no problem.
Okay. Because I know there's been a couple of individuals who's, when they go on investigating, they have, not so good motives.
Right.
They always, like Debbie said, instead of, want to find out the good things, and try to help, individuals move on to their next life or whatever. Some of them want to see the dark side of it.
Mhm.
Terry, what that reminds me of, they're coming from the ego. They're coming to either say, I'm the best, look at what I can do. I don't know if their motives all the time, because they're a necessity. We need investigation to learn, to help.
Right.
But I do think sometimes they come from the ego, and it's more of a power trip. And those are the ones I think Deb was just referring to, and possibly yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like capturing the EVP, getting a picture of one. Like, we always go in with the intention that we
Right.
want to help the spirit cross over if at all possible. Like, if you can't move the spirit out of the house, like, can you get them to cross over, at least not be
Right.
troublesome to the people that are living in the place where they're
Right.
working or home or whatever. Because some people are just troubled by that. Like, they can't deal with having that happen in their home. Like,
Yeah.
I had a few spirits here, and one of them used to move my stuff around. Actually moved a hammer and a pry bar that I just
Wow.
walked down the basement with, and I knew where I put it, and I went and looked. I had to go back upstairs to do something. Then I got ticked because I needed the tools, but I carried them down there, put them down on the table, and I said, oh, I gotta go back. So I go back down. Now I can't find them. I literally
Wow.
couldn't find them.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
So I
That
took
happens at the
this is how
farmhouse
funny it is.
too.
I took my pendulum out and I started asking, am I hot? Am I cold? Like, where are they? So I'm walking around the basement and I'm saying, I know they're right here. So even if they fell, they'd be on the floor by the table.
Wow.
They were about 5 feet away from the table behind the box.
Ain't that is something. Wow.
And I was alone here. Nobody was here.
Oh,
I was
man.
alone.
Hey, I would not be in that house. I would leave.
No.
No, yeah, but I found out later on, this spirit wasn't bad. He was just like being funny.
Just being a
And-
little turd.
Yeah, and
huh?
then
Yeah.
he ended up crossing over after a while, and he's here
Oh.
at times, but he doesn't do crazy stuff anymore.
Okay.
He used to do.
If you guys had a choice, if you wanted to investigate a particular place in this country, where would it be? Starting with you, Dan. If you had a choice to investigate a place, where would it be?
Like a place or a grave? What did you say?
Yeah,
Grave or
Yeah,
any
I mean, in any place that you got on your bucket list that you want to investigate, where would it be?
if he was still in spirit, Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
like I would like to like
That's cool.
pick his brain, kind of. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
You wanna
Yeah.
pick his brain.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, Miss Debbie, what about you?
Oh, goodness. Probably the Stanley Hotel.
The Stanley, okay.
Yes.
I've actually seen that place, and you believe it or not, it's not as creepy as you think, as TV made it seem to be. I mean, it's really a really nice hotel. Tell me, what makes it creepy is actually the location. I mean, it is in the middle of nowhere, so sometimes when you're out there, your mind do wander, but most of it, I mean, it's really a good place to go visit. I'm not saying during the wintertime because you definitely get stuck, but during the summertime, it's really not that bad. I mean,
Hey, Terry,
it's good.
is that really the story of the twins? Was that just something that Stephen King put in there, or was there really twins?
To be honest with you, when I went to that place, that I didn't even bring that up. I mean, it was just, I mean, I was just so amazed of the beauty of that place, and I'm like, how in the heck can this place be haunted? But then again, I realized any place can be haunted,
Any place you go can be. Oh my God.
I mean, it could be the most prettiest place, or it could be the most ugliest place. But you really.
We just lost Wendy.
Did we lose
Terry.
Wendy?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
lost
you'll probably
Wendy.
have to, she might try to connect again. You might have to bring her back in the room.
Yeah, I'll bring her back here.
Okay.
We've been having a lot of issues here in Rhode Island. The weather's kind of like it's windy
crazy.
out.
Oh, okay. Well, if she comes back, I'll just put her back in there. No problem.
All righty. Okay,
Ain't
cool.
No problem. Okay. Okay, guys. So, I'm about to get a little raw here. How do you guys feel about all the BS in the paranormal world? Some negative, some positive. How do you guys feel about that? Most of it is to blame from TV.
Yeah.
There she goes. But let me
see, to me, the things on TV, they need to make ratings. So if you have a show on TV, you need to pull an audience, regardless of what it is. Because I've watched many paranormal things, and you start to weed out the ones that are total BS. It's like, oh, come on. Every time you turn around, there's a demon. There's a demon spirit here. Like, like everyone's gonna be possessed by this demon spirit.
Right.
Like, come on. That doesn't happen. There are times you can go in a house and not get anything at all happening.
Exactly.
I
agree with you on that, Dan.
I would say the three of us, when we talk together, we've probably had more spirit activity in the short time we've been together doing this than they have on these TV shows they have on about paranormal activity they have in these
and
places.
It doesn't have to be at night, Daniel and Deb.
No,
correct?
and it doesn't, because we've done things daytime.
It does not have to be at the witching hour, as they say.
Yeah, they always have like,
not.
Oh, we got to shut the lights off. They lock them in a building. They only got their night lights on their cameras. And I says, really? I mean, you could go investigate at any time of the day. It doesn't matter.
I have pictures on our farm here that's day and night that shows paranormal activity.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Wendy, you hit a point. When you said witching hour, I've heard conflicting stories on what the time is. Now, I heard 3 a.m. and I've heard 12 a.m. Can somebody, which one is it? I mean, because to be honest with you, when I was growing up, because I always heard my grandmother say the witching hour. She would never say 12 a.m. She would always say the witching hour. And I'm always not like, Grandma, what are you talking about? And every time I would look up at that clock and it would be 12 a.m. It would be actual midnight. So which one is it? I mean, because I've heard paranormals and say it's 3 a.m. It's 12. Now I have to know.
I think, right, it's any time, but they say the most activity, I just don't necessarily believe it, but I believe it's an easy time for the paranormal to come in if we're sleeping and communicate with us. Definitely. At least that's how I look at it. You guys say what you think.
This is a 24/7 thing for us three. 24/7, it don't matter. you know.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
gotta remember too, I work third shift, so I
Yeah.
sleep during the day.
Yeah.
Like part of my sleeping time is during the day. I've been awakened by things.
Right.
So it's not necessarily,
Right.
it's just if they want your attention, they're gonna
get
try
it.
to get it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They're gonna
You
get it.
know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I mean, that's a question I've always wanted to know, you know, and I still don't know because nobody answered the question. But I guess, but like, you know, like Dan said, it could be like Dan and Debbie said, it just might be 24 hours. The witching hours is 24 hours a day, 365 days out the year.
Yeah.
It can happen
Right.
anytime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just something that just happens. I mean, these guys don't really have no time.
Well, they don't. I mean, when you're dead, your time is
It's no time.
is plentiful. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
they got all the time in the world on the other side, you know, like.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And how many times when we meet, we've done things on the phone, chatting with each other, and all of a sudden some spirit comes through like that I knew, or Debbie knew,
Right.
or Wendy knew,
Right.
and then like Debbie starts saying, "Do you know a John?" Or do you know, like I says, "Yeah, I actually do know a John." You know, like that passed away, and then we start going
Right.
into things, and it would just, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really cool when us three get together because you never know who's going to come in or what's going to happen. I mean,
We laugh because it happens all the time.
Well, I'm going to, hey, I'll tell you this. If anybody come through here, they better have a 6-pack of beer with them. Because I have had not anything to drink yet. And it's 8 o'clock. So I'm hoping they at least get at least a beer or something. You know, then we can sit down and talk, you know, and he can explain the universe to me. But
there you go.
You know, but until then,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it.
Terry, I owe you a beer, remember?
Yes, you do.
I owe you a beer, yes, I do.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you can mail it to me.
Okay.
I really don't know the next time I'll get up in that neck of the woods you're in. I used to go through that Fort Worth all the time to take my son to school. He went to school in Kansas. So I'm always taking that 35 North corridor, which is Fort Worth, is got some of the ugliest traffic I've ever seen in my life.
I
You
know.
it's just horrible. But how the hell we get from traffic to the paranormal? Let's get back to the paranormal. Okay, guys. All right, hey guys, I'll tell you, Dan and Wendy, since you guys are up in the Northeast, am I correct? Northeast, right? Is that what they call it?
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
on the East Coast.
We're on the East Coast.
What is the difference between paranormal in the Northeast compared to any other state? What makes the Northeast paranormal so different?
Well, I think it's because we have a history here.
Mm.
Like if you think about the 13, we're one of the 13 colonies, so we're the first settling states.
Roger.
Even Rhode Island was the last one to join the 13 colonies.
Yeah.
But we were the first settled states here in this area. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of history of battles of Europeans taking over Indian land. I hate saying Indian.
Native
Americans or indigenous people. You know, they took over things like that, and like a lot of the names that you find in our state are Indian names. They're even where I live in the Connecticut village. Connecticut was actually Queen Connecticut. She was an Indian queen.
Okay.
From the tribe that she was in here locally. So there's like a lot of history like that. And then you got to think about like the American Revolution and all the killing that went on. There's like a lot of bloodshed in this land too. It's not just about
King Philip's War.
Yeah.
King's War. A lot of energy that's both positive and negative.
And negative, yeah.
Especially where we are, Daniel. Especially very, very active, Terry. You have to bring Deb and come on up and to see for yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
that would be one heck of a drive. I don't like to
It
fly.
would be well worth it. It would be well worth it.
I definitely have to take you up on that. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Now, you guys mentioned the 13 colonies with all the bloodshed, you know, and all the negative points of that. Can you guys tell me what Native Americans was in that area? That
Narragansett, very big tribe.
very big tribe. Okay.
Narragansetts.
There
That
were
was
others too, but
Narragansett.
Narragansett was the major one, I would
Right.
say, in this
Very
area. But I think,
powerful. Very
yeah, I think there
powerful.
was some other ones too, though.
They might have
Oh.
been the Wampanoag.
Yeah, the Wampanoags.
Paraquat.
There's so
But
many
yeah.
indigenous names.
But the
all over the
biggest one, but
country.
yes, to give credit to everybody, we'd have to get that map out. But
Yeah.
right. And King Philip's War, if you really want to get into it, have people look that up and you'll see there's so much bloodshed.
There was
You
a
know,
lot
like
of slaughter.
Daniel, the Revolutionary War, the War of, was it 1812?
The War of 1812.
But yeah, a lot of go all the way back, like we said, so Rhode Island to be developed. What happened was Roger Williams basically got kicked out of Massachusetts with the Puritans, and he had some other ideas, and he was lucky enough that Chief Seacom gave him some land, welcomed him, because by then Roger Williams could speak some of the native tongue
Right.
and was able to secure land to start Rhode Island. So right away, there was already discourse in the Puritans.
Yeah.
Wow, that I'm learning stuff every day. You know, that's one of the reasons why I made this podcast. You know, to
Yes.
learn. You know,
Right. And we're all working for the same good. We're all working and educating ourselves, experiencing it, sharing it. I think it's the way to go. I really
Yeah.
do. So we only get better and understand better.
Yeah, because trust me, there is so much to learn about the paranormal. You know,
Still learning.
And
Yes,
I
definitely.
mean,
Yes.
the book. I mean, if somebody was to write a book, it would be the book probably the size of the Sears Towers. I mean, the book would be so big. I mean, and it would be
Yes.
ongoing.
Yes.
You know, so, and you still
Yes.
writing to this day, you know, but if you guys had a choice on where you let's say somebody was passed away, who would you want to meet, Dave, besides Poe?
Oh, God, me? Okay. Who?
If I could snap a finger and bring somebody back. And what was that?
Princess Diana.
Princess Diana.
Good one, Daniel. Good
Hey,
one.
Daniel, your lights just dimmed in the back.
Did you? I just saw that. I just see, and it's doing it
Yeah,
again.
that
There
actually
you go.
happens sometimes. It could be activity, but it's like one of those
You got a clapper?
it's an LED light,
Uh-huh.
but this is a room I built in my basement, but it's sometimes if something like gets turned on or off, it does that once in a while.
Oh, so it's not paranormal.
I don't think so. Even if it is, it's probably somebody good. They can stay. I don't care.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Wendy, Daniel, my roof is acted while we're
It
on
would
here.
be because we're doing this. That would make
Yes.
sense.
The
I
roof
wonder if
is
we'll hear
acted.
anything, Deb. That would be like, wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Terry, we had I have a flat roof in my apartment, and
Okay.
and one of my friends is closed 3 portals over here, and so they all like staying on the roof of the apartment here, and I have to set my boundaries here because they want to bother me and give me information all the time, and that's
Wow.
where I'm talking 24/7. Okay.
Okay.
Because they want to, and I'm going, no, go away. I don't want to talk to y'all right now. We'll talk to you later.
And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that word portal because there's a big thing here in Texas where
Mm-hmm.
there are kids who want to dabble in the paranormal, really don't want to know, I mean, really get themselves into certain situations where things that they can't handle, you know, because I've had a young lady who said she had used a Ouija board and she had actioned up and opened up a portal, and a demon was actually living in her closet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you don't mess
Yeah.
around if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, so we definitely, and they had to call out a shaman or to actually go and take care of that. And everything's okay now. But how do you guys feel about people dabbling in the things that they don't freaking understand?
I think they shouldn't be doing it unless you've like, I've never done anything without guidance from somebody that was a medium or anything. Like I entrusted what I was learning from the medium that was in the group we were in on Facebook. And then talking with other mediums that were in the group, like just discussing things. Like I wanted to try astral projection one time. And I was asking this in the group setting, and the medium ended up messaging me on Messenger. And that's when she told me that my father was trying to get my attention. And that's how that all happened. So like my learning experience is just from experience other people have. I've rarely run into people that have had like a demon come up and like be after them.
Yeah.
But I also go in with the intention. I'm not out there seeking some evil entity to come into my life. I don't want that.
Right.
I want the spirit activity of people who are looking for help, who are looking to maybe give you a message, or they just want to tell you something and then they cross over. They go to the other side and that's it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I want. And that's my intention. I don't go into this looking for like that little freaky thing that, you know, I don't want that.
But Daniel, it is there because I've
It
had
is, yeah, it is there. I agree
and
with
you know that people
Yeah.
trying to harm people. And it's horrible,
Yeah.
like these kids starting off with simply enough with the Ouija board that Terry mentioned. And then here we go, the demon. I personally know what that's like when people do that. And then there are, Terry, people that very much want to practice this for control, want to come from the evil side. So everybody should be aware of that. It's out there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it starts with your thoughts. All right, maybe these kids were being curious, you know. But
And my thing about the Ouija board too, if you check the history on it, it was created to do that. It was created to conjure up stuff.
Absolutely.
I really don't think it's a medium that anyone should be messing around with, like even like toying.
I mean, you know, if you go in, you know, you better understand it and know what you're doing when you do.
I don't think they do.
Ouija board.
Yeah.
You know, when you open that up, you need to make sure you close it back up. But I mean, I used one when I was in junior high, and we really didn't get into it, you know, real heavy. But no, if you don't know what you're doing, stay away from that.
See, and that's the problem, because most people, when you know, and when they go do this and they open something up, something comes out.
Yes.
And at that moment, let's say something happens, hell, they'll forget to close the damn thing up and just leave.
They won't know, right?
They won't have no clue on what's fixing to happen next or what's coming out of their next. So there's right there, there's a portal that's open and they're coming and going left and right. And
Terry, I don't know who's doing that here, but I've had 3 of them closed here. And I was telling Wendy and Daniel, the one that my friend closed for me was coming from the sky.
Yeah.
Coming from the sky and coming down, Terry, right on top of my roof.
Now that is something.
Yes, and she said, Debbie, I'd never seen nothing like that before, but it was coming from the sky and coming down. And you know, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
So much we still don't know, because she didn't even see that before, like you just mentioned, Deb. So that fascinates me, that it can be the other way. And how
Yeah.
often is that talked about other than, but now Terry, you know, we're
Mhm.
talking on his podcast about it.
Yeah, yeah, and we're coming, yeah, yeah,
You know,
I mean,
kidding.
yeah.
All right, guys, I am going to throw something out the box here. I've asked a lot of people on my podcast, and I'm going to ask you three on what you think. Starting this time, I'm going to start with Wendy and work my way up to Dan. A lot of people try to put paranormal and aliens together. To me, I think they're two separate. Because
Yeah.
one is definitely paranormal, and aliens or whatever that you want to call these people over here, I really can't call them paranormal because they're not paranormal.
Good point.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Good
saying?
point.
So
I-
what do you think?
Well,
Wendy?
Terry, I think that's a really good question. I would have to agree with you that putting it in two different categories, because I say that they are being seen by more and more people, especially now with our technology picking up on things and people experiencing themselves, aliens personally. I think they're in two different boxes as well. I think like you do. I
Right.
think that they are. I do believe in both. I believe people when they say they've had experiences. Now, where does that leave us with aliens? Do we become aliens in another life? Do we take out what exactly are they? But I think it's fascinating because even that's a topic all onto itself.
Yes, it is. Wendy, I mean, good answer. What about you, Dan?
I think about this the same as Wendy, I mean, I believe in the aliens. I really do. But I guess I just haven't really thought a lot about it. But I like, what Wendy said, what she was saying about it. That's, pretty cool. Definitely.
Definitely. Dan, what you think, brother?
I mean, I think they're a separate entity totally, but I think sometimes the alien activity that people have, like it's almost like they mimic it as being a ghostly entity. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You've had people that have been abducted that they swear they were taken up on some crazy ship and had things done to them. But a lot of it happened and it happens in the middle of the night, and it happens while they're sleeping. And they have weird kind of crazy dreams before it happens,
Right.
It all sounds kind of paranormal.
Right.
But then I don't think it is. I think it's just mimicking that because that's something that's been around. People have discussed paranormal activity. And I think that's what happens. I think they're two separate things, but I think it's mimicked almost to make you think it could be paranormal.
Exactly. Okay, now, Wendy had a good point. She said with all the technology that we have today, and trust me, we're learning, we're getting things every day, we didn't have yesterday or the day before. Now, with all this new paranormal technology that it's coming out, do you think some of this, it's, how can I say it? Well, some of this new technology actually validate the actual paranormal world? Or do you think it's just hogwash, just ways to make money?
Well, I would say for me personally, I have gotten some unbelievable photos that are not doctored, that are literally with a phone camera, nothing special or anything, and was able to capture. I think some devices, what do you guys think? I think some devices are really good. I'm sure people spend their money foolishly, like we all have from time to time. But I think it's very much important to be able to have a history of events. Because I think you have to experience it, Terry. You can go by looking and hearing about a photograph with an explanation, but I think that's what makes us want to go out and see for ourselves.
Exactly.
If it's there.
Yeah. Terry, that one, the machine that, or the device that they're using that has the stick people, you know, that shows,
Yes,
you know,
the
stick.
SLS camera.
Yes. Now,
yeah.
I think that's pretty cool, you know, on that. But like Wendy was saying, you know, I have pictures of, you know, I'm just getting all weirded out today. So tonight anyway.
Well, don't get too weirded out now. That's my job.
All right. No, I think that's really cool. I really do. Because, you know, it shows the, you know, the body or the form or whatever
Right.
that is. Pretty cool. Yes.
Okay.
And the phones, of course, you know, like Wendy was saying.
Okay.
Right
Dan,
place at the right time.
Dan,
you
what are you
know?
thinking, brother?
I mean, I think some of the things could be like, they're overpriced, I think, a lot of it, you know? And I really don't think you need to have all that stuff all the time, you know? I mean, Wendy and Debbie pick up things without having a device, you know? Like, what do you need to have a bunch of equipment for? No, I'm not against it. Like, if you wanted to have a recorder going on to see if you pick up anything,
Absolutely. Yeah.
walking through a building, just to see if there's like some, you know, a stagnant voice out there that speaks to you, like that would be cool, you know?
Right.
But a lot of times it depends on who you're with. I mean, like, I often wonder about paranormal people. Are they even gifted at all? Like, do they have some kind of gift where they pick up that stuff? It's almost like they don't. Like they're requiring their device to do it for them. They need to have the videotape coverage. They need to pick up a voice on a recorder.
Yeah.
I have a recorder that I use multiple times and I've never picked up anything on.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, like, so like, what good is me having the device?
Well,
It's
you
not
know
gonna-
what though, Daniel, people want proof.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
here's the thing, if I
Yeah.
just said it, or you
Yeah.
just said it, or Terry or Deb just said it, I
Mhm.
think it makes it more intriguing. So there is this story or
Yeah.
something that's happened, because I guess we would get into non-believers, but that's nor here nor there right now. But I wonder if that's why we're doing this with equipment.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're doing something in someone's house, like you're trying to clear a spirit. So like they
Right.
want, I mean, obviously they called you because there's something going on in their house, regardless
Right.
of what's happening. Like,
Right.
they're seeing something, they're seeing dark shadows, they're hearing noise or hearing voices. So you
Right.
pick that up. But I mean,
Right.
in a TV show, I could see where like you need to do that because you need to have people watching it, you know?
Well, there's the entertainment factor.
Yeah, there's that entertainment factor. But I mean, what about when we're doing it for somebody that's real, that's really having an issue and you really need to
Oh.
do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do we need to depend to have on that recorded device, or
Mhm.
you know, one of those cameras that picks up the person standing next to you, like in a stick
No.
figure, or
Right.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think you can move spirits along without doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you, Dan. Yeah. I mean, because trust me, it gets pricey. I mean, got tons of equipment just sitting over there, you know, and I can imagine how much money from over the years I could have invested it in other things besides paranormal equipment, when I can just go up to Dallas, Fort Worth, pick up Debbie, or drive up to
Right.
Wendy and pick you guys up, and hey, and
You just need a
guys-
couple of mediums with you, that's all.
that's
That's
it.
all.
A couple of mediums would do great. You know how much money you guys would save me? You millions.
Yeah.
You know? Trust me, because every day, I can almost guarantee you, every day I am just going to eBay in the paranormal section, just trying to figure out what can I buy next to add to this junk that I got already over here, you know. And I'm like, well, but what I'm just gonna suggest, how about eBay, put a picture of Deb, put a picture of Wendy, and just say, hey, and put you guys on there, man. And hey, if you guys, I will pay to have you guys come out and investigate with me. And if we can find something, that would be great. And if we don't, that's great too. But
there we go.
Here's the thing, guys. This is one of my pet peeves about the paranormal world. I really hate it. I argue with people all the time about it. And I'm gonna ask you guys what you guys think about it, and just be honest with me. Okay, people always say, especially paranormal investigators, oh, this is the most haunted thing. This is the most haunted place in the country, in Texas, in the world, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sick of it.
Me too.
Yeah.
How do you guys get to that?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's how they advertise.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
first of
how
all,
they
most
advertise.
most paranormal groups that are like doing a thing where they want the public to come, you're paying them first of all to go. So
Right.
you're not going for free.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so they might
Exactly.
charge $25 a head. And you come in and we're going to investigate this old asylum. You know, let's say it's an old asylum. It's run down, but you can walk into all the floors, go in all the rooms and all that stuff. So they round up maybe 50 people for $25 a head. They're making a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So when they advertise, of course they're gonna say this is the most haunted place that's ever in the state of Texas or wherever, you know, like who's
Right.
to say, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and just like, you know, you get all of these people into one area like that, into this building. And can you imagine some of those people that go in there, you know, they use their Ouija board in there. They go in and taunt, you know, and disrespect the place and get the spirits all riled up and pissed, whichever ones are in there, you know. And I went to Yorktown Memorial. Have you ever been there, Terry?
Anything that costs me $500, I would not go.
No, this was $25 a piece. And this has been years ago. And Zach Bagan and them, you know, they supposedly went in there, you know, and investigated. And, you know, and they made the show out of, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, but you know how they do with some of the paranormal shows.
Oh yeah,
But anyway,
definitely.
but anyway, I said, okay, I want to go in there and I want to check this place out. And, you know, yeah, sure, there was a few spirits there, but it was nothing like what Zach and them said it was. Okay, you know, it was just totally different, you know.
Oh, Zach
Um,
Bagans, or
yeah.
whatever his name is.
Yes, Zach Bagans, yeah.
I used to watch his show, believe it or not, when I went, oh my God, this guy is so full of BS, it's not even funny.
Yes, yes. And, you know, I wish everybody the best, you know what I'm saying? But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's just, yeah,
But that's the leap you got to take if you want to be on TV and be famous with that. I mean, you
Yeah.
really have to lie about
Yeah.
some things just so you can grab the audience, you know?
yeah,
Just-
exactly.
Just to get those couple of views and, you know, those power ratings that these major companies, these TV shows are getting, you know, you basically got to go all out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
do. You do.
Yeah,
And to me, you know, if you want to start an argument with me about paranormal, just say those couple words and we can argue all night. I mean,
no,
I mean, because there is no way in hell that anybody can, I mean, think logically. There's
Mhm.
no way that you can actually say that. Don't say those words because really you don't freaking know. Because
No,
if you're saying that this place right here is the most haunted, then you go 2 miles up the street and you get more evidence up the street than you did down the street. So
Mhm.
what the hell are you gonna say about this one? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you really,
exactly.
you can't say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
And-
Terry, we tend to use the words like active. It's
Yeah.
active. Got some
Mhm.
active areas. When it
Mhm.
comes to your words there that you don't like, the most haunted, I so agree with you. I
Mhm.
so agree with you.
And it irritates, I mean, oh man, he made me want to go drink right now just thinking about it. I mean, I just can't say it. I mean, because so many people have told, you know, have came to me and actually said that. And you know what? And me being an older guy, I know who to pick my fights with, and I know not who to pick my fights with. You know, because
Yeah.
I just, you know, I'll not trying to disrespect anybody, but I'll just basically turn and walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for
You know
you.
how I'm saying? This guy here, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He must have been raised in Arkansas or something, because he has no clue on what the hell he's talking about, you know, when it comes to the paranormal. And
Right.
it's
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
it's just
Right.
unbelievable,
Active.
man.
It's active anywhere you go. It don't matter. You know, it don't matter.
Right. Right. Right.
I mean,
right.
I can walk down to the store or go to the store here, and there could be a spirit in there. You know, we've had spirits. You know, you go
Absolutely.
outside and there's spirits outside, or there's spirits over here. You know, it's yeah. I totally agree with you on that, Terry.
Yeah.
From my experience though, being like, I feel like I'm new to it, even though I've been doing it for like some years. But like, until I really got involved with stuff, that's when I started to experience more. Like you
Yeah.
get a heavy ringing in your ear. You know, you feel like there's something around you. I've been touched in a store when there was nobody behind me. There was a wall there,
Or your
and my
hair,
jacket was tugged.
or your hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I think if the spirits know that they can contact you and make a connection with you, I think that's why they come around,
Yeah.
which is
Right.
what we've all experienced ourselves. Because once you open the door for
Absolutely.
that and you like allow that into your life, it's forever.
Or your hair
Yeah.
starts standing up on your head and you don't
Yeah.
have any hair.
Yes,
Trust me,
Terry.
I've had that, man. I'm like, damn, man, I got hair standing up on my head and I don't have no damn hair. What the hell's going on? That right there tells you something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny or anything, you know, but I've just come across some weird people that say some weird things, and you know, and they just don't understand or just don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I
True.
know. That
True.
is so irritating and so oh, how do you say that? Yeah, they're just
They're
they're
coming from the ego, Deb. They're coming
Yes.
from the ego. They're
exactly. They're
yeah.
a know-it-all,
Yeah.
and yes, and they
Yeah.
think they know it, and they're going,
Yeah.
hell yeah, man, we're tough and we're good and we're ghost hunters, you know, and
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you sound like somebody I know.
Yeah, my whole thought is just go out there and do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
You know?
don't make, you know, but like the thing is, like if we were on a TV show now and we went into a place and we only picked up a few things, like it wouldn't make the ratings. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
But you know what, Dan? The good thing, at least you're honest about it.
Yeah.
That's the good thing.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
least you're
definitely.
honest about it.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
I mean, people would have to believe what we were receiving because, like I said, like you can't see what a medium sees. Like if Debbie picks up a vision of something and she's hearing something, and then Wendy says, "Yeah, I'm picking the same thing up on this side." How do you gather an audience for that? You know, like how do you gather an audience because you got your pendulum out and you're answering questions? Like it's not a money maker in that sense. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you got a point. Okay,
Yeah.
now Debbie and Wendy, you guys have grandchildren, right?
I do
yes,
not have grandchildren.
You don't have, Debbie, does your grandchildren have the same gift you got?
yes, they do, especially my grandson, and he is 9. And yes, oh,
How sensitive is he?
oh, he's very, very sensitive. I have a spirit wolf, you know, that stays here. It's my spirit, one of my spirit guides. So he goes into the bathroom and he comes back out and he says, Mimi, I'm sorry. I accidentally peed a little bit on my shirt because something tickled my leg. And I said, okay. And it was my wolf. He went up and he, you know, tickled my grandson's leg. And he says, Mimi, but I felt something too. And I said, okay, it's okay. There's nothing to worry about. You know, don't worry about it. It's all good. Okay, Mimi. Okay. Okay. And, you know, my daughters, my son, but anyway, yeah, he's very, very sensitive.
Okay. Now, Wendy, you don't have any grandchildren yet.
I have a daughter,
And
and she always had these little visions from when she was, I can remember her, like, I think she was 3 going to be 4, and she would start talking about something from the past that my sister and I went through,
oh
but
my
she was
God.
talking about it like it just happened. So
Woo.
yeah, she hasn't really done anything with that gift per se, but I can remember that early in life where I was like, wow, it is something inherited at times that we pass on, because we're all connected. All of us are
Definitely.
connected.
Yes.
And Dan,
I have a son, and I think he has something going on, but he
something
doesn't
going on?
use it.
He doesn't use
Yeah,
it.
he does. Like, I think it's like it's there, but he's not dabbling.
He's like, man, I'm gonna leave that
Yeah.
alone for a minute. I ain't
Because
gonna-"
he
Yeah, for a
actually
minute.
walked through the lad school, which is a building here near in our state that's in South County, that has a lot of activity there, and it's an old lad school. It was like a boys' school, and there was like a lot of mistreatment there and stuff like that went on, just like any of these places, you know,
Right.
these asylums and stuff. And he walked through with his friend. I mean, you're not supposed to go in there. It's all like locked up and everything. But there's ways of getting in. Like there's always a busted window, or you know, somebody broke the door down that was blocked up, and you can get in. So they
Right.
went with a bunch of friends, and he got separated from them because they were on another floor, and he was down the stairs. And he said when he was standing there, he heard voices say stuff to him in his ears. And he bolted up the stairs. He said, 'cause it freaked him out.
Yeah.
I says, really? He goes, what did you hear? He goes, I don't know what they said. All I know is it was like they whispered something in my ear, and he goes, I freaking ran, he said.
Wow, that is crazy.
So
Now-
I know, like, he probably, if he opened that door, he would probably, you know, could develop the gift if he wanted to. But I
In
don't know.
time.
Yeah, maybe.
I really don't think he will.
Now, Dan and Wendy, you guys live in the Northeast, and I had a friend of mine who lived up there. He lived in Boston.
Boston.
Yeah. He's a Red Sox fan and a New England fan.
Yep.
And I just want to cut his throat every time he talks.
No.
But he told me that he told me that there are cemeteries every 3 blocks in old Boston. Have you guys ever been to Boston?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
there
we've
are.
all been
There's
to
a lot of
Boston, yeah.
there's a lot of cemeteries there.
Very
Well,
active.
If
Yeah.
you walk in old Boston, you just like pass. Well, you got to remember the wars were fought there.
Right.
Right.
A lot
Just
of those
like
graves
here,
are probably soldiers or people who were citizens.
Yes.
It's probably a lot of that from way back when, you know.
Oh, yeah. And
And-
also the properties were bigger, and they would bury you on your property, your family's plots,
Yeah.
especially when they first started coming over and working. Yeah.
There are
Mhm.
homes in my neighborhood. They have a little graveyards right next to their property. That was
Yeah.
probably family plots right next to the house. They're all old stones. You can't even read
Right.
the writing on them anymore.
Right.
But they
That
don't
is-
touch them. They just leave them there.
Right.
Wow. You
Right.
know, that is something, dude. I would love to see something like that.
Oh, you got to come up. Yeah, you got to come this way. You have to.
Man, if I go to Boston, I don't know.
You can
That-
go to Boston to visit, right, Terry?
I can go hang out for a while, but hanging out
There you
with
go. Yeah.
hanging out with my buddy Jack. Oh my God, that dude there, man. He's definitely a handful. He actually runs what is it called? Jack and Pam's Paranormal out of Boston.
Oh,
So
Oh,
he
nice.
actually has a little thing got going up there. And these guys, they actually do investigations every weekend. That's how busy
Wow.
they are. You know,
Oh, I believe that. Yep.
they are really busy. A lot of residential,
Uh-huh.
a lot of cleaning of the property because most people want to build houses like on old land, and and they don't want to do that until they want to clean the property. And I'm like,
Really? They got called for that? That's amazing.
yeah,
That's cool.
Wow.
Well, if you think about it too, this is the, it's the indigenous land. It's the Native Americans' land.
yeah,
And if more people would come out and understand that, just recognize that when you're having problems with your land, that you need, I think you're saying an investigation and having it cleared before they start building or buying a place. I would say, please consider that this was the natives' land.
but
And if you acknowledge them, you
the
have a
que-
better shot.
the
You really
question that I asked for him is, why would you want to clean land that was theirs anyway?
Exactly. Yeah.
That is the question that I asked for him. So isn't it doing more harm than good going out there doing what you're doing?
Yeah,
Well,
but you
why
know what,
is it being-
even if you didn't, I think they're gonna build on it anyway. But I think what Wendy was saying was give some respect to the ones that passed there, because they're not
Right.
here now to take over the land.
and they didn't do this by choice. It was
Yeah,
taken.
and they didn't do it by
and it was
choice.
taken.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Right.
So
I
there's a
think if
lot of
you
right
at
here we
least
go again.
give that
lot of-
respect,
Yeah.
But
And the
and-
upheaval of a fight and wars and disagreements and not being able to get along, even though they wanted to, along with the new settlers, it didn't happen. So I think, don't you think, Daniel, Deb, and Terry, that's a big part of it. Discourse that's been passed on and passed on and passed on.
right.
Right.
And recognition
Yeah.
doesn't go to the Native Americans. It really doesn't.
Mhm.
But
it should.
But this is the question that I ask him is, for say that you do go and, Native Americans is not the type of people that would say yes and move on, because that's something that they owned, and they what's the word I'm looking for? They
It was sacred. It was
yes,
sacred.
it was sacred. So these
Yes.
Native Americans is not going to be as easy to move on. So when you do build that home or that property on that property, aren't you just asking for problems? I mean, you're just asking for trouble.
Not necessarily. It all depends on the natives. If you can make peace with them, and like Wendy does on her land, they love Wendy, the Native Americans.
Yes.
They
yes.
want her to be there because she is of good, she is of light, and that's what they want on that property. They want somebody to be on there that's going to take care of the land and respect
Right.
it and have peace. And if somebody can do that, then the Native Americans will be fine. But if they do go over there and they try to do something that they don't like, well, I don't blame them, if they do that. But Wendy's farm is beautiful. I mean, it's nothing but protected by the Native Americans. And, a lot of history there also. But no, I mean, I pretty much agree with Wendy. It all depends on if you respect them and take care of the land, then they're okay with it.
Well, Terry, thank you, Deb, because I obviously agree with you, boo. Terry, why are they your friend? What were they doing to clear this land? Why was there a reason to clear this land? Did they share that with you?
From what I was told is that he was called in for what was he called in for? He was called in to clean the property before him, and which was well, you got to realize these it was a big acreage of land, so houses were being built. So
Yeah.
therefore, when one house was built and there was trouble with that particular house, and the next house was built, trouble and so on and so on.
Oh, so that's the need to they felt
Yes.
like we need to clear this.
Yes,
What's
we
going on here?
yeah, we need to go ahead, and because each house had sort of the same problem, what was going on in the house, things moving, same thing that they can't explain, at one
Yeah.
point, the owners were foreclosing on their homes, not wanting to stay there. I mean, it became a big mess after a while. But the thing about house builders, they don't care. They just want to
No.
build. They just want to build on the land.
Yeah,
That house
yeah.
is money,
Exactly.
so they don't care what's on it.
Right.
But
Right.
but when people start figuring out there's a problem,
Mhm.
that's when they called him to figure out and see what's going on, and do what he needed to do.
I find that fascinating that that actually happens with people building homes, that they actually call paranormal and clear their home. Clear the
Yeah.
land
Kind
and
of,
stuff.
it's kind of cool. It's really kind of cool and interesting. I would say the other thing that goes through my head that I think about when I speak to spirit is how they do talk about the natives. Just acknowledge it was their land, acknowledge that. And that helps a lot, Terry. That might help your friend. They start delving in that, is acknowledge the past history, acknowledge all that has happened, and they're more willing to work with you than not.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight sometimes.
Mm-mm.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because it took him a while
Yes,
to do what he needed to do.
yes, yes.
Because I know when the medium came out, and that's where they would actually, have contact and, and explain things on what's going on. And they did the blessing. Well, the blessing didn't work.
They need to do the Indian, they need to get a Native American on the land.
Yes.
That is.
Like a
Indian.
shaman,
Yes,
medicine man,
and
shaman.
they need to
Yeah.
get, yes, to be
Was-
on there to bless the property.
See,
Yes.
but the thing is, he couldn't go and tell the land developers that, because
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
so that no. And so what he did was he went out and did it himself. He went out and got I'm not for sure on who it was, or it might have been a Native American medical doctor. I'm not for sure, because I wasn't there. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
eventually it worked. And not only did they clear that property, the other 5 houses that they developed
Wow.
also stopped.
That's
So
awesome.
There you
that
go.
was
Very
great.
cool.
And like I was like, dude, Jack, you should have recorded everything that you have done. That's where you have validation. Now,
There's the validation.
you have
Yeah.
that validation now,
Yeah.
because when the landowners come, they're going to deny everything. That didn't happen. This didn't happen.
Oh, no, they want to sell the house. You're
Yeah,
not gonna say,
Right,
oh, this was
right.
haunted by,
Right.
Native
Mhm.
Americans. The
Yeah.
land,
They
you know?
want
They're
to
not
sell
gonna buy
that
the
house. And,
Was
Right.
there, Terry, was any of them buried on the land that you know of?
you know what? There was a couple of mounds, very big mounds there.
Oh, the Indian mounds?
Yeah, and
Mm.
You're not supposed to touch those.
no, you're
No,
not.
definitely not.
And from what I'm hearing, from what I heard, those were like ancient burial grounds, or
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah.
so. But
No wonder.
all these mounds were on the outside of the property line, because each house has a fence. Now, in the back of that fence was like it's wooded, but there were mounds back there.
Oh.
Mm.
They
They didn't touch the mounds, right?
No, I don't. to be honest with you, I really don't know if they start developing back there yet. We're talking maybe over 10 years ago this has happened.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So I really don't know. Jack hasn't really said anything about it. So
Yeah.
at this point, they probably, I would say, they probably cut him off from the first round of incidents. that happened.
Wow.
You know, because if you guys know anything about big corporations, D.R. Horton, and all those people that got big money and big houses, they like to keep
Yeah.
that on the hush. Anything, keep on the hush. That's just like when they go remove cemeteries and put property there and put land, houses there. No,
Yeah.
nobody know about that.
No.
Right, you're right. You're right.
No,
So-
not at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really crazy that that big
Mhm.
time corporations would do stuff like that. You know, but it is
Money
it-
talks and everything else walks. You know.
Right.
money talks.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Money talks and bleep.
Bleep, bleep, yeah. But you know,
Bleep,
let's
bleep.
not, yeah, but let's not hope they touch those mounds back there, because if they did, that's a whole nother story.
That's a
Yes,
whole
sir,
nother
it
story
is.
that will be continued.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a whole
It
nother
will come
story.
up again and again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
at that point, I don't think nothing, because that's the ultimate disrespect. I mean, I don't think nothing can
is.
be said, nothing can be done at that point.
A good point, Terry.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
it's a sticky situation.
it is. It
Mhm.
is.
You know what I'm saying? So, all right, guys, you guys have any questions for me?
I do.
Okay. Yes,
How
ma'am.
long, Mr. Terry, how long have you been doing this? The
Podcast.
podcast?
The
and
podcast.
Yeah.
I have, be honest with you, Wendy, I have been doing podcasting for the last month,
No.
just for a month.
Oh,
And believe it
Do
or
you
not,
love it?
I love it because I get to meet interesting people like you, like Debbie and Dan.
We
Yeah.
are
No.
interesting.
I get to meet people like you guys, and I really appreciate it. You guys coming on the show. I am still an active paranormal investigator. People ask me, how did a black guy get invested in the paranormal?
Like it's an odd thing.
And I'm gonna tell you, I mean, to be honest with you guys, it might sound funny, but we are bred to run
Yes.
from anything, from anything that we cannot explain.
That's funny.
exactly.
Hey,
Yep.
I can explain that cup over there, but if that cup was to slide from one counter to another, hey, all you gonna see is smoke. That's just the way that's just the way we were born and bred to do, to not
Yep.
dabble into the paranormal. What's there is there, leave it alone. You
Yeah.
know, now people in Louisiana and those people over there are on a totally different level. They love it, they enjoy it. It's in their culture to do all that. But me in Central Texas, I tell you what, you know what? Let me see something I can't explain. If I was younger, well, you'll see smoke. That's
Yeah.
just me.
So my question is then, what brought you into the paranormal, seeing that you said you probably would never, ever do that?
To be honest with you, I'm going to tell you a story if you got time. My grandmother is Southern Baptist. She's gone, but she was Southern Baptist, and she went to church Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays.
4 days a week, yeah.
4 days a week.
Wow.
And trust me, she wanted me to go 4 days a week. And I like, no, dude, I can't do that. So
Nuh-uh. Yeah.
no, I couldn't do it. So one Sunday, Dan, she decided that she wanted to go to the bar and have a drink. So she did that. Mind you, my grandmother raised 10 kids. 5 boys,
Wow.
Dang.
5 girls.
Wow.
Okay. And she raised just about 15 grandchildren. Me as being the second oldest of the grandchildren. The rest of them are younger than me. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, she decided, well, I'm gonna go have a drink at a, you know, this social bar or whatever. And we all know that you got to be with God when you're out of church. You got to go
Yeah.
home, cook Sunday dinner, spend time with the family and do all that. Well, she didn't do that. She went to have a drink at the bar. On her way home, we live on a hill. So she parked the car on the hill, walked around, and you know, she had a couple beers. So mom started playing tricks on her. And she was like, what the hell is that coming up the street? Turned the corner, she saw a chariot.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is, I kid you not, this story has went down from generation and so on and so on. So she saw a chariot and she was like, man, well, I had too much to drink. So she started walking up, she started walking up to the door. And my house, my grandmother's house, old school, had those wooden screen doors. I don't know if you guys ever seen them. Those
Yeah, they
wooden-
squeak
Yep.
when you open them.
yeah, those wooden screen doors. And as soon as she opened that up and she turned around, she saw the chariot stopped in front of the house. And the devil himself jumped out. Walked around
Wow.
well, it gets better than that. Walked around the car. And my grandmother, then 4 days a week, Southern Baptist, not scared of anything. She had the short woman syndrome. She was like 4'2", and she wasn't scared of anybody. So he opened the door and she steps in the way and she's like, what do you want? Bluntly. She said, I want him. He said, well, I want to come into your house. And she said, no, I'm not going to let you in my house. There's people in here. I got my family here. You're not going to come. You know, so long story short, they start tussling. He made his way into the house. Things got knocked over. It looked like an earthquake.
Wow.
Okay. At the time, we're talking about 1986. I was in middle school. So I got up and got ready for school. I got up and got ready for school. And I got up and I walked. I remember making that left. I walked up and I'm looking. I'm like, what the hell is going on? You and Grandpa got into a fight last night? What the hell? And so I walked right into the living room and my grandma sitting in those old wooden chairs that they made by hand. I don't know where she got it from. And she was like, I said, Grandma, what happened? Because she had her head down like this and she was like, she was just gone. And I like, Grandma, what happened? You know, because I've seen chairs, tables, it was just chaos. And she was like, son, I had a fight with the devil tonight. And I'm like, what? Yeah, I had a fight with the devil tonight. And the first thing that came to my mind is she's not lying, because why would
Right.
a 80-pound woman it's no way it's gonna flip over a 200-pound couch. Not like the way that was. And tables flipped over. I mean, it was just mayhem. It was just awful. And you know, and she's like, I fought with the devil tonight, son. And I'm like, really? And I seen the scars, the battle scars. She had scratches on her legs, scratches on her arms. And you know what? And what really threw me off is that the look on her face.
Oh,
astonished look on her face. And
right.
I'm like, wow, not only did she save us, her family, dude, she saved herself because she was
Absolutely.
in the fight for her life,
Yes.
in the
Yes.
fight for her life. So not
Yes.
only did she protect us, she protect and I'm like, and that
Yeah.
story has been torn down from generation, from 86,
Right.
from 86 on up to now, that story has been told. And
Wow.
ever since then, I have been into the paranormal. I
God
mean,
bless.
cool.
Yeah.
I've started, I was watching the X-Files. I mean, I
Yep.
was watching just about everything I could find that was paranormal. And
Wow.
my wife think I'm crazy. You know what
No.
I'm saying? Oh yeah, she think
No,
I'm crazy. She think I am crazy, but that story really fueled my fire
Yeah.
on being the man
Yeah.
that I am. And hey, after that, I just want to see what else is out there. I mean, that's my goal in life is I mean, just find out what is going on. Because if
Yeah.
they're having a party over there and I'm not invited to it, it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
So I want to
Right.
go eventually when I go on, I want to go on and go on to that party and just, into that light over
Yeah.
there and just go have a good time. But that's what I'm into, the paranormal. I love it. I won't change, anything about it. Like I say, I will never learn everything about it because nobody ever will,
No.
but it's
No.
just something that I just love to do,
Yeah.
and when I
Yeah.
started and when I started this podcast, I'm like, dude, I am gonna go. I'm gonna start in Texas first because
Right. Right.
there's
Get
so much
big.
history here. I mean,
Mhm. Oh yeah.
old
Mhm.
history. So
Yeah.
I told myself, this podcast, I'm just gonna sweep Texas and just find out and meet as
Good.
much people as I can, so they can
Heck
tell me
Good.
yeah.
their story.
Heck
You
yeah.
Yes.
know,
Hey, I tell you what,
so
Terry, go to the Baker Hotel in Mineral Wells. Yes, Mineral Wells. They are redoing it. It was from way back in the early 1900s. Marilyn Monroe stayed there. Bonnie and Clyde stayed there. Elvis, and I mean, all the popular, movie stars. And so the building started falling apart and they're remodeling it right now.
wow.
But I did a ghost walk, me and a couple of my friends, and it was a full moon. And I want to tell you something. You can get taking pictures of this big place. You can actually get images in some of those windows, and the chattering. Oh my God, there was a lot, lot of chattering going on that night. I mean, you could just hear, spirit after spirit, talking.
Mm.
But it's a pretty cool little town because they tell you the history of it,
Right.
and it's really neat.
Right.
And you know what, guys? But believe it or not, I feel like I'm much older than what I really am. I really do.
Mm.
Only for the simple
Old
fact,
soul.
no, it's not an old soul. When I mean old, I'm talking because when I did my Facebook, when I set this all up, and
Yeah.
I'm looking, I like a certain date hit me, and I felt like I was, born. I can't remember if it was 1810 or 1820. I'm trying to look on my Facebook to see what actual day I was born on,
Right.
because I've never changed that. Even though people come to me and tell me, hey man, your date is wrong on your birthday. I've never
Wow.
changed that.
Wow.
So I'm like, wait a minute. I'm trying to find it because
Hey,
it
Terry.
is so weird.
Terry, Daniel does past life readings.
Yeah,
Yes.
Terry should do one.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Hey, no, that's interesting though. Daniel, tell him. That is interesting.
I mean, if it's something he wants, I don't mind doing it. It's not like,
You know, that's really,
some people want it done because they just want to find something out that maybe that exists in their past life that exists now. I mean, things like that. I've had some pretty cool ones over the years.
yeah.
Because I am trying to find that date.
Well, it should be on your main wall. It should be on your main profile.
Yeah,
It gives your birth date right in there.
I'm looking, because I know it says 1820, 18 something. And people have come to me and asked me, why come you haven't changed that date? That your day you were born.
Wow.
And I've never changed it. And I'm serious, I cannot, and I'm trying to look for it right now, but I cannot find it. And hey, you know what? And I just thought about that right now. Let me see if I can find that.
Oh.
Oh, 1918.
Wow.
1918? Wow.
Wow.
It
Wow,
says,
there it is.
Oh.
There it is.
you see that? April 17th, and I've never changed that.
So what year were you actually born then?
1971.
Oh, wow.
Wow, nothing. Wow.
And that's not even like
That's
near each other. Like you
awesome.
wouldn't
No.
even like accidentally do,
No,
even if you did 17, maybe, but like,
1918, guys.
wow, that's
I've-
weird.
And I've never
It-
changed that. You
It could be
gotta
a
see it.
spirit coming through that's an ancestor too,
It
trying to
could be,
get
it
your
could be a significant past
Yeah.
life reading on that one. You
Yeah,
never know.
Daniel.
So,
Yeah.
that
Definitely.
is something. I mean, I can't explain it, and I'm not gonna try to explain it, but
I've had people
Right.
come on and say that. They say, there's something going on with Facebook. My birthday's wrong. You're not the first one to say that.
Yeah.
And they said, my birthday's wrong. I said, what do you mean it's wrong? She was, well, I wasn't born in 1875 or whatever they had on there. I said, wait. I says, yeah. I says, you recall putting your birthday the correct? She goes, yeah, I know when my birthday is. I put in the correct birthday in there. I said, it was all messed up.
so,
They said somebody pointed it out to them. I said, I'm looking at your Facebook. It says you were born in 1875.
and
I says, oh, that's. Then you just think it's a glitch, you know? You think,
Yeah.
well, it's a Facebook glitch and
Yeah.
it just
You
burst
know
the
what?
numbers.
I don't mind if I was born in 1918. I wouldn't have cared, you know.
Yeah.
It seemed like it's a good year to me. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I've known it was there, and people told me it was there, and I had 101 opportunities to change that, but I've never have.
But you haven't done it. Yeah.
Have not done it, only because I felt like I was really born in 1918.
Right.
It's crazy, you know.
Right.
But I don't know, guys. I'm mystified right now. I'm at to go get me a beer or something. All right, Debbie, cash out me that beer.
Yes. I've got one in the ice box. You want me to bring it to you, Terry?
Well, I don't know if you want to. Well, I
Watch
don't know.
out for that devil on the chariot, though.
See, I
Yeah.
can hand it to him over the phone. See, you know, that way he can reach it. There we go.
I don't.
Yeah.
You know that story, dude. It never gets old, and it's never
Right.
changed. It's never changed over the years that I've told it. My aunt has
Mhm.
told it. I mean, because many people in my family have seen what I saw that night.
Mhm.
Literally a whole, literally a whole family. And
Yeah.
you know, it's something dark that we don't like to talk about, a dark side of our family, but I felt like I have to say something, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Even though my aunt, who's probably my age, she might be 6 months older than me. She always told me that my grandmother, you know, was a witch and all that stuff, but when the hell did she have time to do all that when she was taking care of 10 kids and 15
Right.
grandchildren, going to
Going to
church,
church 4 days a week.
4 days a week.
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
no way she could have been a witch.
and then, hey, and then she was married, take care of her husband because she was old school. She believed in, doing things the old ways.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
did she have time to go in the backyard and and do the witch things, whatever witches do these days?
Yeah,
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But it's crazy, and my family is very oddly weird, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Amen.
I
No.
would not. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. Now, what I'm going to do is, if you guys would like to give me all your information, how we can so the world can get a hold of you, starting with, all your social media outlets, Mr. Dan, you are first. How will we get a hold of you?
I would do it by email. If the email I sent you, you can post that.
Okay, do you have any
Well.
social media? Facebook, email, Instagram?
I'm on Facebook, not
Okay.
often, but I am
What?
on there.
Give me your Facebook info.
You want me to give it in the chat?
Yeah, hi.
Okay.
That's where the world can get a hold of you.
All right.
Or you just could have said it.
Just
I'll
say,
give
hey,
you, that's my name there. So if you look it up, and I'll give you.
Hey, I didn't even know you can do that. I learned something. See, I'm learning something new every day.
So am I.
what
Oh,
are you
I've
doing?
used Zoom many times. We do
Oh,
Zoom
wow.
night. At,
Hey, I didn't know we can do that.
What are
I
we
didn't
doing?
Oh, Daniel typed in. He was
Yeah,
able to
did you
type
see
in
that?
his info.
Info.
No,
See
my-
the chat below where the picture frame is of people talking.
All
It says
Yeah.
chat.
All
Well,
right.
that appears on your side. So yours might show 1 or 2 messages, like 2 numbers on it. If you click that, it opens up to the side window over here.
God dang it, Dan.
And that's the chat.
We're gonna become best friends because you know more about technology than I do. All
And you
right,
can
Miss-
even private message people too.
All right, Miss David, how we get a hold of you? Tell the world how they get a hold of you if they want to.
You can use my email, or you can use, I have a Facebook page, but I do have 2 Facebook pages. One I cannot get into. So
All right, sound like two of us.
the one they need to get into, I have the black shirt,
Okay,
Debbie Schreiner.
okay,
The other one you can't get into.
okay.
So,
And great.
yeah.
And Miss Wendy, how will we get a hold of you?
Terry, you can get me through my Facebook. It's Wendy Marie Lepore, my full name. That's my Facebook page. It's open to the public.
Okay.
The other way is my email, which is Wendy with an I 291@gmail.com.
All right.
Either way, absolutely.
Yeah, and any of you guys have an Instagram account that they can contact you through Instagram, Twitter?
I don't do all those other things.
I
Um,
have Instagram, Art by Wendy.
Art by Wendy. What about you, Deb? You got an Instagram?
No, I sure
Ah.
don't.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The less social media, the better.
And that's better. All right,
Uh-huh.
guys. It has been a pleasure
It
talking
has
to
been.
you. I hope
Terry,
we can do this
You're
again.
awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like I say, I'm always willing, I'm learning, and I love meeting new people every day. Dan,
Me too.
you look like a New England fan.
I'm not really a sports person, so
What? You're not really a
No.
sports person?
no, I'm not, I could care less. I think it just takes up too much of your personal time.
Oh, man. You
I have
sound like,
other things I would do more than that.
oh, wow. You wouldn't
I'm the
survive here in
same.
Texas.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of sports fans here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not a sports fan. No.
You're not a sports fan either?
No,
I
I'm
swear
not.
you're a Cowboy fan.
No, no.
New England Patriots, New England
Ah,
Patriots.
you, hey, cut her off. You know what, guys? It really has been a pleasure for you guys to come on to NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. I'm sorry we did not get raw and uncut. We did not need to,
Mhm.
you know, but you know, all our conversations was, you know, pretty incredible, you know. So
Yes.
hopefully we're able to do this again.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I am putting a Texas Paranormal Roundtable. So if you guys' names get pulled, you'll be back on at the end of
Okay.
April. And
Nice.
you
Cool.
guys will be able to talk to paranormal investigators from all over the state of Texas. From all four
Awesome.
corners. So it
Yeah.
should be fun and it should be interesting. And the good thing about it, it's going to be Facebook Live so the world can see.
Awesome.
Okay, so
Awesome.
hopefully I have all the kinks worked out on this Facebook Live thing that Facebook keeps messing up on. It gets more technical every day.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of traffic on that. A lot of
Yeah.
people do
Yeah.
the live thing.
So hopefully
Yeah.
I'll get it done by then. But in the meantime, I'd like to say good evening to all three of you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah.
Thank you, you
And
too.
for all my fans out there, you know what to do. You know what to say.
Mhm.
Peace. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Love you guys. Bye.
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 Bye.